Where is Brian Laundrie? I'm very concerned about food shortages coming to America. No, not local or short-lived shortages. I'm talking about a national food shortage that will affect everyone, everywhere, for a very long time. Would you be ready if that happened? Probably not. That's why I urge you to get some long-term storage emergency food from my friends at My Patriot Supply. They're the original Patriot Survival Company. Over the past decade, they've served millions of American families like yours. Their mission is your survival. And right now, you can save 25% on a 4-week kit of emergency food that will save the day. Probably soon. This 4-week kit has a wide variety of delicious food that provides over 2,000 calories per day, the right amount for optimum survival. Go to preparewithalice.com so you can claim your 4-week emergency food kit and save 25% in the process. Order a tasty starter kit for each member of your family, and they'll ship everything quickly and discreetly to your door. That's preparewithalice.com. Missing person: Brian Laundrie. White male. 5 feet 8 inches tall. 160 pounds. Brown eyes. Short brown hair. Trimmed facial hair. Last seen wearing a hiking bag with waist strap. Brian Laundrie, a person of interest in the disappearance of Gabby Petito, was reportedly last seen by his parents Tuesday, September 14. Laundrie is believed to be in the area of the T. Mabry Carlton Jr. Memorial Reserve in Venice, Florida. Anyone who knows his whereabouts is asked to call 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Hi, Roberta. Can I ask you a few questions? Why are you covering up for your son? Why aren't you helping with the police?
Earlier today, Fox News confronting Brian Laundrie's mom outside of her Florida home as police resume their search for her son, who is nowhere to be found, as the search for his missing girlfriend, Gabby Petito, enters its second week. Nancy Grace is hosting a Gabby Petito investigation at 10 p.m. here on Fox News tonight, and she joins us now. Nancy, I'm so glad someone's confronting the family because it's been so apparent now that they must know something.
Well, they've got to know something, because what we know is this: Brian Laundrie came home September 1. And even though Gabby's parents were texting, emailing, calling, they did not let them know where Gabby was. But they had Brian Laundrie there until September 11, when they find out, the Gabby's family finds out he's parked the van right there without Gabby. That's when Gabby's family, report her missing. So finally, people are speaking out whenever they see them. It's interesting to me that the Laundries act like life is going on as normal, cutting the grass, going to the grocery store, all that. Gabby is missing, and now their son is missing. Now, if you look very carefully, original reports say the family said he left in his vehicle, but the vehicle is parked at the parents' house. That's not true. Are they covering? Is he really on a walkabout at the Carlton Reserve? That Mayaka State Park, nearly 25,000 acres, about 80 to 90 camping trails, many of them under hiking trails, many of them underwater right now. Going to make it very difficult. Scent dogs can track underwater, but it's much more difficult. I noticed they took out a bag of evidence from the Laundrie home. Guarantee you that was some of his clothes for the tracker dogs to try to get his scent. It begs the question, why did he leave in the middle for the search for Gabby?
Right. I mean, this whole thing has been so fascinating to watch. I think so many people are intrigued because this whole thing started off as a video, travel blog that went wrong. You've followed cases like this so much, Nancy, based on what you're seeing, that he's disappeared, that they're searching in Wyoming. What are the chances that this beautiful girl is still alive?
There's a slim chance. There is a chance. The fact that the FBI and so many people are on the ground looking for her there in Wyoming at the state park. Now, interesting, was at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. What is dispersed camping? It means you're not where they've got the commode hookups and the trash and the showers. You're in a dispersed area, out, off the grid. that is going to make it harder. Now, he reportedly told, as I call her, the TikTok girl, a young woman that actually picked him up on the road after Gabby has not been seen. He's clean. He's doesn't smell. He's got a half-empty backpack. This is after she's last heard from. And when she says we're going to Jackson Hole, he freaks out and gets out of the car and tries to hitch another ride. He said he had been on the Snake River camping on a tarp. Now, why was he so neat and clean? And where was Gabby even then?
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense, but there's so many twists and turns, and things are coming out almost by the hour. New information about him, about his family.
One more thing.
Yeah, sure.
One more thing. I wish they had served those warrants on the home on day one and not now. But that said, I would be looking at every rental car agency, every private plane, out on the water for small boat craft, because I don't know that he's in Carlton Reserve. Why are the parents telling me the truth? Yeah. I have no reason to believe yes or no. And recently, there was a sighting of a young man walking along that looked a lot like Laundrie. Well, unless he got a full sleeve tattoo, that's not him.
Posted by Ethan Ham. Police have confirmed it's not Brian, but come on. This is too coincidental, is it not? Comparison of trail cam footage screenshot and photo of Brian Laundrie.
Here now, John Walsh, host of In Pursuit with John Walsh on Investigation Discovery. He previously hosted America's Most Wanted. John, it's great to have you with us. This is another very tough story that has clearly just tugged at the heartstrings of people all across this country who have become very involved in it. What do you think about this manhunt right now? Where do you think Brian Laundrie might be?
Well, I'll tell you, Martha, the marshals, who I have great respect for as manhunters, I'm honored to be a sworn U.S. Marshal, gave me a heads up and said, look, there is a guy who came home after a 4-month camping trip, parked the van in the driveway, nobody's seen him, and now his family's filed a missing persons report. Could you get that girl on your show on Wednesday night? Well, you know what happened. In the meantime, they found Gabby's body. I wasn't that involved until they found the body, and the marshal said, now you really got to saddle up. So as you mentioned tonight, I'm doing a special of In Pursuit with John Walsh, leading with Brian Laundrie's disappearance. We did get multiple tips yesterday. Our hotline blew up because it's the people who will find this guy. People ask me all the time, you found 1,422 of the world's most wanted fugitives that no cops could catch. You found 17 of the FBI's 10 most wanted, 61 missing children, including Elizabeth Smart. How do you do it? It's very simple. I tell people, you can text me, you can call me. I don't trace, I don't tap the phones. I know people don't want to call cops because they think they'll get dragged into it. I don't care if you're legal, illegal, where you are, just text me or call me. And that's how I've caught all these people, because the public is my supporters. And that blogger that found his van is the reason why they were able to find her body. Right. And the people who picked him up hitchhiking put him there in that area, hitchhiking back to his van so he could get away. So that's going to happen tonight. And I got to say one thing, Martha. I said it last week. The guy is not in the house. He was there when he came back. He scrubbed that van. His parents helped him, the dirty Laundries. That's what I'm calling the mom and dad. I know they got rid of the evidence. They bought a camper top. On your show, I heard that couple say there was a new camper top there, that they went on a weekend trip with their grown son, kind of unusual, in a little camper top on a pickup truck, and they came back 3 days later. So when I heard that this lawyer, this Stephen Bertolino, this Johnny Cochran, O.J. Simpson wannabe, get his 15 minutes of fame lawyer, called up last Friday and said, oh, we want to do the right thing now. We want to let you know that on Tuesday, Brian left with a backpack and he went to a swamp. Then on Wednesday, we went and left him a note. Don't hurt yourself, Brian. We're worried about you. And then Thursday, in the middle of a 60,000-acre swamp, after they left the note in the car, and how the hell did they find the car in the swamp? They brought the car home. And then on Friday, finally on Friday, Stephen Bertolino, the big talking mouthpiece for the dirty laundries, called up and said, "Oh, Brian's missing. He's been gone since Tuesday." He left way before that. He was in that camper when the father and mother went out. I would guarantee it. And I've been doing this 33 years. He was in that camper when they went on a little trip before she was reported missing. And they bought him 5 extra days with that ruse. That kid has been throwing red herrings everywhere. And I got to go ahead, Martha. I know you got a question.
I'm fascinated by everything that you're saying. I just have about a half a minute here.
Okay, let me get
go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me get to this. They're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars looking in that swamp with all kinds of law enforcement. They should have been tipped off by the stop out there, the 911 call. Why didn't that 911 operator let those 2 cops know that the wonderful caller, again the public, said, "I saw him slapping her around. I saw her punch him in the face"? How did those cops know it? They wrote up their report and said he was the victim. They could have saved her life. Here's my big question. I would have put a black and white police car. This lawyer keeps talking about Fifth Amendment. Nobody wanted to talk to Brian and his parents. No one wants to violate the Fifth Amendment. I do it old school. Black and white in front of the house on public area street. Black and white in the back of the house. If the father ever leaves, tail him in an unmarked car. How the hell did the FBI and the Northport police let this kid slip out of the house?
We got to jump out there. No, I couldn't agree with you more. And we'll be watching In Pursuit on your special. John, thank you very much.
Grant County Sheriff's Office.
Were you able to get a description of the intoxication?
Hi, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, I'm calling. I'm right on the corner of Main Street by Moonflower, and we're driving by, and I'd like to report a domestic dispute. Florida with a white van, Florida license plate, white van. Gentleman,
where's it at?
5'6" beard. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what do you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's a white van?
White van. I can give you the license plate if you give me 1 sec. I took a picture of it.
What kind of white van? Like a big one?
It was a smaller van with the license plate of, it was white, Florida license plate QFT G03. The make was a Ford, model was Transit, black ladder on the passenger side.
Black ladder, passenger side.
White Ford Transit.
White Ford Transit. Okay, what's your name? And where did they headed south on Main Street from Moonflower Market?
Correct, they made the right turn.
Oh, so they went north.
North, yeah, sorry, I'm not from around here.
Okay, you're right there by the post office?
Right across the street, yep.
Okay, and when they turned onto Main Street, they went right or left?
Right.
Right, so they went north. North on Main. All right, I will let somebody know. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Bye.
Thanks.
Posted by Nicole Johnson. Great job, Moab Police. Wonderful to see your officer laughing and fist bumping a man who was slapping and hitting his girlfriend earlier that day, per the 911 call. These officers should be fired. Gabby Petito. Brian Laundrie. Moab Police. Shameful. Posted by Melissa Ernest. Gabby Petito's van on YouTube video versus the van during the domestic dispute body cam video. Posted by True Crime Daily. Brian Laundrie post on Instagram. August 13th in Moab, Utah. Kylan and Crystal were last seen alive in Moab, Utah on the 13th. Fox News Moab murders. What happened to Crystal Turner and Kylan Schulte after August 13th? Crystal Turner, 38 and Kylan Schulte, 24 were found dead on August 18th with multiple gunshot wounds in the South Mesa area.
And was she pregnant? That's the chilling speculation triggered by this video, which shows their van parked in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. Just before you see the van, look there, propped on the log. Is that a film strip showing a sonogram? Now compare it to this standard sonogram strip. They sure look alike. The spot where
You guys, excuse my French, but I'm freaking the fuck out. Matt and I just realized, because I'm a freaking dumbass and I did not put two and two together, that we not only saw like a blowout of a situation between Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie in Wyoming when we were there. I'm freaking the fuck out. Yes, we have already talked to authorities. Like, how I did not put two and two together that this happened, like, I don't know. So I'm following this case. Matt's not. He's a guy. He has other shit going on. He could probably care less. I'm filling him in on this case a couple days ago, and I guess maybe he Googled it and saw a picture of Brian. Matt has an insane photographic memory. And so for 2 days now, he's like, I fucking know that guy Brian. Like, I don't know how, but I know this guy Brian. Like, I've seen him before. When Matt says that, anyway, we were in Wyoming. So Matt woke up this morning and he's freaking out. And he's like, oh my God, I know how he looks familiar. Nina, we saw them in Wyoming. They were the couple fighting at the restaurant. We were at this restaurant, you guys. Friday, August 27th, 1 p.m., sitting right next to them. They got kicked out of the restaurant and were fighting with the hostess. They were fighting with the hostess. She was hysterically crying. And she walked out and she was crying and she was staying on the sidewalk. And I was watching the whole thing unfold. And he walked back in the restaurant and he's fighting with the hostess. And I didn't know what happened. I don't even know if they got kicked out, but they like left abruptly. And like she was standing on the sidewalk crying and he walked back in and was like screaming at the hostess and then walked back out. And then he walked back in like 4 more times to talk to the manager and to like tell the hostess off. And like I went to the bath. They were sitting right next to us, like right fucking next to us. And we were both sitting right by the hostess stand, right by the front door. I went to the bathroom. I came back and they were like abruptly leaving, like something happened. At first, my first thought was like they were displeased with the service and they were walking out or they were trying to get out of paying their bill. But it was kind of like a scene. And I was like zoned in for some reason, and Matt was like on his phone, and I was like, babe, like put your phone down, like something is like going on. You guys, it was like a fucking scene, like something that doesn't happen every day at a restaurant. The way he was acting, she was crying, she was upset. This had to have been right before she died. So she walks out, she's upset, she's crying, and he's like more angry. Like you could tell like it's more sadness for her and she's crying for some reason. I don't know if she was embarrassed or what, because I don't know. I put it here. I don't know what was going on. I could just see what was unfolding. And so she's standing on the sidewalk. I could see her through the front door and she's standing on the sidewalk crying, and he walks out with her, but then like right away turns around, walks right back in, and he's, you know, kind of like violently like talking to the hostess, and you could tell he's angry, and they're just kind of like doing the whole like sorry, like we don't know what to tell you kind of thing. You could tell he was relentless. He wouldn't drop it. Whatever it was, he wouldn't drop it. He walked out. He walked back in the restaurant probably 4 more times, just to kind of make a scene and just to get his point across, which, you know, I don't know what that was. I really don't know what happened, but she just apologized. I think she was telling him like, come on, like just drop it, let's go. And she like looked at the hostess and she was just like I'm sorry. And that was it. And it's just like I don't even know. I don't even have words right now. It's just weird. It's crazy.
Confirmed. The Mary Piglet's Mexican Grill. Yes, we can confirm Gabby and Brian were in Mary Piglet's. We have not deleted any comments or messages on social media. The screenshots you see were direct messages to our account and not public. We have already notified the FBI and they are aware. We are letting them do their jobs and we are respecting Gabby's family and have nothing further to comment. Post by Thomas T. Ty. Brian Laundrie's parents left their home today. They were followed by a caravan of unmarked police cars. If Brian is at the Carlton Reserve as they said, these strange parents showed no worries about their son potentially being eaten by alligators or killed by poisonous snakes. Post by Greg at Deviled Greg. Brian Laundrie was home since September 1st. Him and his parents got a lawyer and refused to answer Gabby Petito's parents' phone calls or texts regarding their daughter's location. They all knew she was dead. They are all guilty. Arrest the Laundries. Post by William Masak. Brian Laundrie. This sighting was in St. Augustine, Florida 2 days ago. The hat? From Yahoo News. Insider. Brian Laundrie may have lied about going to the Carlton Reserve, search and rescue expert says. He could be almost anywhere. What more can I say? The parents have been lying for him all along. If you see something, say something.